What's going on, guys? Huawei Motorsport back here with episode 3 of our ALPHATAURI F1 2020 Manager career on Motorsport Manager 3. A little bit of a quicker episode this time. I went away and did the in-between the race things behind the scenes. So we've built our new front wing. Nothing else really happened, but if you see here, Gasly's front wing is actually orange, not red. So we've managed to improve our car a little bit. The reliability of it let me down a little bit, but realistically, we need that performance at the moment. Gasly's performance in the last race and Kvyat's was so poor. We just need to drag that back up a little bit. So I've done all that. We're just going to crack on straight into the Chinese Grand Prix here for round 3 of the championship. Once again, we're going to go with Golden Tiger Bank, try and get that 15th or above, because last race was so poor. I don't think I could go through a repeat of that again. So here we go. In for qualifying at round 3. Once again, I'm kind of expecting the Mercedes to be at the front. The Red Bulls may be up there this time after they brought some part upgrades, but I don't want to jump to predictions. I don't think we're going to be fantastic unless Pierre Gasly's front wing literally transforms his performance entirely. So into qualifying, let's blitz through this. Okay, so I was going to joke about Gasly's front wing working wonders, but after the first runs, he's in 7th place. Just let that sink in for a second. 7th. And everyone's done a run. This could be actually pretty good. Okay, so we are going to get one more run, and this should take Gasly up to 100%. Yeah, perfect. So Gasly's going to go out. That's going to shave some time off his laps. Oh, that was perfect. That was so perfect. I did not expect that to work that well. Not that it's going to change much. Kvyat is doing really badly. Actually really worrying form because he has no minus stats at the moment. So for him to be that far down in pretty much the same car as Gasly, minus a front wing, is worrying. Is very worrying. Gasly's not improved. Kvyat gets up to 15th. And Alex Albon on pole position. So Alex Albon, the championship leader, has put it on pole in China. I agree. Thank you, Channel 6. I agree with that. Well, for Gasly, not really. For Kvyat. Okay, so here we have the grid. The Red Bulls, 1st and 2nd, with Albon on pole, not Verstappen. Charles Leclerc 3rd, which is impressive, because he had a terrible race last time out, then Bottas, then Hamilton, then Vettel in the other Ferrari, and then Pierre Gasly in 7th place. We have outperformed so many people. All we did was stick a front wing on that car. I am astonished. I am blown away by how well that's gone. Got some Renault-powered cars, not particularly doing very well. The McLaren's a little bit slower than you'd expect after the last race, considering how well they did. Ocon quite far back in that Renault. It's bizarre. And then at the back, again, the Alfa Romeos and the Williams. Realistically, I think that's how it's going to go all season. Williams brought a new suspension to this race, and they're still dead last. So we can't do anything with Kvyat in terms of bonuses, so we're just going to build up that mechanic relationship. But Gasly, on top of his really good qualifying run, has hit a 100% relationship with Paul Dumfries. So he gets a 2nd shaved off his pit stops. So that is going to help us massively. Now, all we have to do is get the strategy right. I'm going to start him on the softs. Because he's in the top 10 and we need to be on the softs. I'm going to kind of wing the strategy after that. We might do a 2-stop onto mediums. If those softs last a while, we might do the 1-stop. But the 2-stop might work better because of the 1 second off pit stop times. So potentially a 2-stop because they'll be a lot quicker. Kvyat, we are going to start him on the hards and probably one-stop him. I don't think there's much hope of him really doing anything in this race. So, down to 5 red lights. We're going to start this race with the 2 Red Bulls on pole and ALPHATAURI in 7th place. And we're going to see what happens. Into turn 1 they go. Albon has dropped back, so a horrendous start from him. We've been jumped by Magnussen. We're in a fight with Magnussen and a fight with Vettel. Leclerc and Verstappen fighting over the lead. I expected the young drivers to come through in this series and kind of overturn the old guard, but maybe not this early on. Maybe not round 3. So Gasly not doing well here. He is behind 2 drivers on the medium tyres. He's actually been challenged by Stroll. I missed what happened, if anything happened. Or is it just pace? Has he just fallen back on pace? Because if so, that's very worrying. We're still above 15th place, like you know, that's our target. We just want to do damage limitation on the money because at this point we have to spend, but we don't have a lot coming in. Kvyat once again falling backwards on the hard tyres. It just feels unsalvageable at the moment. Or there's a problem with one of McLaren's in front of us. Norris dropped back, but Gasly couldn't get through, and now Stroll's closed up. We're all over the back of Lando Norris, but he just can't get past him. I don't want to put him into attacking. I don't want to push either of our drivers because of the strategies we're working on at the moment. We don't have really strong enough tyre wear or fuel economy to push at any stage at the moment. It's just very much driving around and trying to preserve the cars. Verstappen's fallen back as well. Maybe this is a Honda thing. Maybe we've just done really well in qualifying here and our race pace is whack because Verstappen and Albon have both fallen back to 4th and 6th. Gasly's in 12th and Kvyat's in 19th. So maybe Chinese Grand Prix just isn't the one for the Honda engines. Maybe over long distance we just haven't got it. Oh, it's upsetting. We had such a good qualifying. I was so excited because I had no expectations going in, and then Pierre's given me all the hope, and now he is driving like my grandma. He wants new tyres. Oh, I should have pitted him. Although, we've gone 7 laps, so I think we're going to move him to the hards and try the one-stop, because those tyres have gone 7 laps, so those hards should be able to go 12 laps. I am not focusing on Kvyat whatsoever in this race. At this point, when it comes to contract negotiations, if we keep Kvyat on this performance, he's going to be a number 2 driver, and Gasly's going to be our number 1 driver. No doubt about it. So a couple of drivers stopping here. Grosjean's done the same strategy as us, which may be a good sign. We're ahead of Perez, so were we already ahead of Perez, or did he have some kind of issue? He's going to overtake us anyway. So all the leaders, I think, are starting to make their pit stops. That's the difference. See, their tyres, 8 or 9 laps in, they're still on the softs. Compared to us, they just have so much more ability to keep the performance that we just don't have right now. Into the pit, Charles Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Vettel. I don't know where this is going to put the order. Magnussen's going to be leading the race with Sainz Jr. in 2nd. But technically Leclerc's going to be netting the lead, and Albon has dragged it back to 3rd by the looks of things at the moment. Oh, we are falling backwards. I'm going to stop Kvyat here. Put him on a set of mediums and try and go to the end on them. These hard tyres, the life just has not lasted, and I really hope that that's just a Kvyat problem and not a Gasly problem, otherwise we're going to be struggling come the end of this race. The most worrying part is, once again, we're behind the Williams. I know they both still have to stop, but it's just stressful knowing that they are going to have that performance over us at the end, and we look so slow. Despite our qualifying pace, we just don't have the race pace. We just don't have it. There is something fundamentally wrong at the moment. in that we just do not have the ability to maintain that pace over long distance. Gasly had it for the first few laps, but since then he's just fallen back. Oh god, Grosjean's going to be well up the order again. See, we copied his strategy, and look, he's in 6th with hard tyres that will probably go to the end here. We're going to get Latifi under pit stops, no surprise. Raikkonen maybe as well, hopefully Russell, although he's nearly 10 seconds up the road. How we're going to get overtaken by Giovinazzi. Gasly has just been overtaken by Giovinazzi. Gasly started 7th, just behind the top 6. And we're going to struggle to get 15th here. Raikkonen's has to pit. That's our only saviour really, but Ocon and Stroll are definitely going to overtake us. Their car's so much quicker already. Into the pits as Raikkonen. That's going to put us back into 15th. But it just feels like too long. It feels like too long. Gasly is storing so much fuel. We're going to whack him up to rich mix. Tell him to push. Tell him to try and get past, or at least maintain his position, and he throws it away immediately. They have no defence. They have no defence. We need a retirement. This is so bizarre as well. There's not been a single retirement so far this save. This is the 3rd race. We're almost at the end of the 3rd race. I can't remember a single person retiring. Definitely not in the 2nd round. A mistake for Ocon, but obviously nowhere near enough for us to catch up. Kvyat's got a lot of fuel spare as well, so we're going to push him and try and keep him ahead of George Russell. 16th and 17th is still better than 18th and 19th or whatever it was in the last round. That was an awful, awful result. Gasly is falling victim to the tyres dropping off. He's running out of fuel. And Daniel Kvyat's car is on the brink of breaking. So when I said there's been no retirements, we might be looking at one here. We've got 2 laps left to go and his car's got 7% left. If he retires at this point, it makes no difference. He's not going to score points. He's not going to meet our objective. The only hope we have is that Giovinazzi and Perez, their tyres drop off so badly and Gasly's don't, that we can get some points. That is the only hope we have whatsoever here of getting some points back. No one's going to get lapped, I don't think. Russell looks like he's about to get round. But Leclerc is going to come round, I think, to win this race in front of a 2-3 for Mercedes. So Mercedes, once again, right up there. Oh, we might just get 15th. Giovinazzi looks so slow in that Alfa Romeo. Come on, Pierre. I will give you a new contract immediately. He's not going to do it. I'm glad he didn't, because I can't afford to give him a new contract immediately, because we keep losing money, because we keep missing our sponsor objectives. So, yeah, not a great result again. Slightly better than last time, but yet again, a failed sponsor objective. We are right down in the bottom 3 in that fight with Alfa Romeo and Williams. We have a lot of work to do to get up to the midfield. Truth be told, I thought in the opening round we were going to be right in the mix with them, but this is just showing again. The last 2 rounds, we have so much work to do, and to be honest, I'm looking at the drivers. Like, Kvyat has been weak the last 2 races. Gasly at least gave me a bit of hope and redeemed himself a little bit with the qualifying and showed that he does have the ability there. He just needs, the car to work, and we need that race pace. But Daniel, atrocious at both qualifying last rounds, atrocious in the races. Really, considering we're part of the Red Bull program, his days are numbered. He really needs to turn it around quite quickly. Otherwise, we're going to be looking to try and bring in someone from further up the grid. Maybe even a pay driver. Maybe, we might even contact Williams about Latifi, or bring in, or try and steal Lance Stroll. Thank you, Sudoku. Good result at the top again, though. That battle, I expected the Red Bull to be stronger after qualifying. Like I said in the race, maybe a Honda issue, but still good points for them. They're still in the hunt with Mercedes. Let's see what it does to the championship. So Valtteri Bottas now leads the championship, and he hasn't won a race yet. The only saving grace of this career so far is that we've had 3 different winners from 3 different races, and this championship is tight. Like, this is hard to predict so far. Bottas leading the championship with no wins. And then you've got the 3 winners, Albon, Hamilton, Leclerc, all within 10 points of each other. The Haas still doing well up there. The midfield's still tight. And, you know, we are struggling. We are struggling. There's no lie here. Renault are pulling away up into that midfield fight after the result here. Haas still doing very well. Ferrari, I'd say, are getting closer to the leaders. That win was important for Leclerc there. I love these little after-race interview clips. They are the thing that keep me going with this. They're the little bit of joy. Please spare a thought for me. This is more challenging than I expected. Okay, so Renault have built a new suspension. Again, worrying for us. That's a team pulling away in the midfield. Mercedes, new gearbox. Gonna heat up things up at the front. Red Bull, a new rear wing. So a lot of development further up the grid from where we are, and once again we're losing money, so that's making development even harder. If we really push development this season, that's going to set us back a long way in 2021, and the only saviour for us really with 2021 will be the regulation change. On this game, I am going to have to create that regulation change myself, so I obviously have the data editor to edit this, so I can edit the way that the cars can be developed. So basically what will happen at the start of the 2021 season is that I will lock development at the end of this season. So when the new season starts, everyone will be on an even level. Development can then happen from there on, and it literally is totally dependent on results early in the season. So that's how 2021 is going to work. At the moment, the focus really is developing this season, but we need that money. We need to develop the infrastructure, build the headquarters, and save that money for next season, so that even if we don't really develop the car for next season, which is still important because that's how you get bonuses on the car, that's how you get, even if the performance isn't the key point, you can have like better wet weather performance, better pit stops, better etc. if you put a lot of money into developing next year's car. So it's still important, not crucial, but at the same token, if we focus on this year's car, that will literally go to waste. Everything we do this year has no relevance next season. So it's a tough one. Like, realistically, I want to focus on this year so that the episodes aren't just us languishing at the bottom of the pack. I want to break into that midfield as quick as possible. I'm hoping that soon there'll be an episode where it rains throughout the whole race, or the weather's all over the place, or there's a load of retirements, and that way we stand a chance to get a better result. At the moment, it's just not happening. 0 retirements, rain for half a race, no other issues, so we are just slow and let down by our drivers. Okay, so just before I end this episode, we are able to branch out with the supply network. So we are going to go to England because Red Bull are based there. So we're going to kind of crack the UK, probably going to go for this one up here next, and then branch out around Europe a little bit more, and just try and build up our European network. I feel that's an important start. Oh, okay. I did not expect this. This is a huge shock. So McLaren have just offered us Carlos Sainz Jr. They want Daniel Kvyat and 1.2 million. I've been saying this whole episode how disappointed with Daniel Kvyat I am. This would be massive. The problem is his contract's so high. See, we're paying Kvyat nothing. Literally nothing in comparison to what we'd have to pay Carlos Sainz. I think in the interest of the series, I have to do it. I have to do this. He is a much better driver, and Daniel has been awful so far. And Daniel Kvyat in a McLaren. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, boys. Hopefully, this is the point where the season changes for the better. It's official. Daniel Kvyat is off to McLaren. Carlos Sainz Jr. coming back to a team he used to race for, coming back into the Red Bull program. But now AlphaTauri is a sister team, not a junior team. So he is technically in a team level with Red Bull in importance. Okay, and finally, we've had some headquarters upgrades. This is what I wanted to get to with this episode. This is why I want to breeze through. I was expecting this to be a quick episode. I did not expect for all this to suddenly happen at the end of the race. Big headquarters upgrades. I think this is maybe 4 we've had. I think 4 headquarters upgrades. So now we have the ability to build a lot more parts. We can now build the suspension and brakes for our car. We've also got a 6th sponsor slot, which is really important. A new setup card in qualifying. We really can't afford to put any more money into this right now. Look at that, 5th best drivers on the grid now. We were down at like 9th before. That changes so much. I am going to leave it there before I get carried away. Massive end to the episode. Let me know how you think that's going to go. Do you think that Carlos Sainz is going to rejuvenate our season a little bit? Or do you think we're going to drag him down to the back of the grid with us, which would be a terrible move for him? Also, let me know what you think Daniel Kvyat's going to do in a McLaren, because I am interested to see how that plays out. Just a quick pointer as well. I am recording this straight after I recorded episode 2. So I'm aware that when this comes out, there will have been updated liveries. Testing will have started. You know, there'll be things for me to work on in this save. Obviously, they'll be done before episode 4 for the Monaco Grand Prix. So apologies they're not done for this episode, but they will get done. Aside from that, if you have any other feedback, advice, comments, anything, whether you enjoyed or didn't enjoy this video, let me know in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear your opinions, your predictions, your thoughts, anything. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next episode.